Stop for a moment. Do not scroll past this message. Look at me right now. You did not stumble here by accident. Heaven aligned time itself to bring your spirit to this exact intersection. Give me just a few minutes of your absolute attention, and because you decided to pause your busy day to listen to my voice, something major has just shifted in the unseen realm. I am asking you a very direct question in this moment. My child, do you not want to talk to me anymore? I have watched you pull away over the last few weeks. You used to bring your heart to my altar every single morning, and now you sit in a heavy silence that is slowly drowning your weary spirit, while the noise of the world keeps screaming in your ears. You feel like your prayers are just hitting an empty ceiling. You ask yourself if I am even listening to your private pain. Let me tell you that I hear every single whisper. I have counted every broken fragment of your silent thoughts. And because I love you with an everlasting love, I will not allow you to run away from the one who created your precious soul. If you can feel my holy presence breaking through your digital noise right now, do not resist it. Comment Amen under this video as an immediate act of recognition. Let it be a sign that your spirit is waking up to my divine call. We have a very long journey to walk together today. Come closer to me now. Let me speak softly to the part of you that is most tired. Take a deep breath and let your heavy shoulders drop. I know the exact weight you have been carrying in absolute secrecy, and because I have watched you struggle alone through the midnight hours, I see the invisible battles you fight when the lights go out in your room. The world looks at you and sees someone who is perfectly strong. They see your beautiful smile. They depend on your constant strength. You have become a living refuge for everyone around you. But who do you run to when your own soul is entirely empty and parched? You have been forced to act like everything is fine. You put on a brave face because you think you have no other choice. But behind those closed doors, you collapse under a pressure that is far too great for any human being. And as you carry the heavy burdens of everyone else on your shoulders, I have watched you sit on the edge of your bed in the dark. I saw the tears you tried so hard to swallow before anyone could notice them. You felt a deep ache in your chest that you could not even explain with simple words. You wondered if this endless suffering was your permanent destiny. My beloved child, I am here to tell you that it is not. I am stepping into your atmosphere today to remind you of who you truly are. I call you a warrior for a very specific reason. You were not created to just barely survive this harsh world. You were built to overcome the greatest storms of this generation by my sovereign power. But right now, my chosen warrior is completely exhausted. Your sword feels too heavy to lift. Your armor is dented and scraped from the constant warfare. And because the journey has been so long and brutal, you have grown incredibly tired of asking for breakthroughs that never seem to arrive on your specific timeline. That is exactly why you stopped talking to me. You thought my silence meant that I had completely rejected your soul. You believed the lie that I was blessing everyone else while ignoring your specific tears. You allowed deep disappointment to build a massive wall between our hearts. Let me tear down that wall right now with my perfect love. The static you have been experiencing is not my absence. The enemy has been working overtime to fill your mind with constant noise. He desperately wanted to drown out the sound of my gentle voice in your life. I need to open your eyes to a grand spiritual reality today. This extreme fatigue you are feeling is not a sign of your personal weakness. It is actually the definitive evidence of a hidden attack against your future. I call this specific phenomenon the hidden battle. The dark forces of this world do not waste their time attacking ordinary people. They targeted your life because they are absolutely terrified of the great destiny I placed inside you. They saw the mantle of leadership that is sitting upon your spirit from the beginning. They wanted to crush your hope before you could reach the threshold of your blessing. They knew that if they could make you feel isolated, you would eventually give up completely. And by making you feel like your prayers are completely useless, they wanted you to believe that you were fighting all alone in the dark wilderness. But they lied to you. I have been standing right beside you through every single valley. I was there when your heart was breaking into 1,000 pieces. I was holding you up when your knees were trembling from the sheer weight of the struggle. You have asked yourself why your path has been so much harder than anyone else around you. You look at people who do not even seek my face, and they seem to walk in total ease. You feel a sense of injustice creeping into your private thoughts. You wonder, why did I choose you for this painful road? I chose you because your heart is pure enough to carry my glory. I did not design you to be an ordinary spectator in my kingdom. You are a holy vessel that is being refined in a very hot furnace. The intense heat you are feeling right now is not meant to destroy your existence. It is burning away the old dependencies that kept you tied to the earthly realm. It is preparing your spirit to hold a weight of blessing that would crush a lesser soul. Every scar on your heart is a testament to a victory you have already won in my mighty name. Do not throw away your confidence in this late hour. The waiting season has been incredibly long, and your soul feels entirely parched, but the spiritual drought is about to break at my sovereign command, and because I am your ultimate source of provision, I am releasing a fresh wave of my Holy Spirit over your dry ground. I am calling you back into the secret place of prayer. Do not let your exhaustion keep you from talking to your Heavenly Father. I do not require you to bring me perfect words or fancy declarations. I only want your honest heart and your total vulnerability today. Bring me your frustration. Bring me your anger. Bring me your deep disappointment about the doors that have closed in your face recently. I can handle your heaviest emotions because my love is an unshackable foundation. I will never turn you away from my sight. You thought I was ignoring your cries, but I was actually working in the silent background. I was rearranging pieces of your life that you could not even see with your human vision. I was blocking bad paths that would have brought absolute ruin to your destiny. The silence was never a sign of my abandonment. It was the holy canopy of my divine protection. I kept certain things hidden from you because your spirit was not yet ready to carry them. I needed to forge your character in the quiet wilderness first. Now the forging process is coming to a beautiful completion. You are standing at the very edge of a massive spiritual transition. Do you feel that sudden stirring deep inside your chest right now? That is not anxiety or random nervousness. That is your spirit sensing a massive shift in the unseen realm. Your soul is starting to recognize that a holy door is about to swing open. I need your full cooperation for the next part of this divine message. Pause where you are and listen to my next words with an open heart. The enemy wants you to believe that you have failed because you feel weak. He whispers that true warriors never cry and never doubt. But I tell you that the greatest warriors are the ones who know how to break down before my throne. Your vulnerability is your greatest weapon against his lies. So take off your heavy mask today. You do not have to prove anything to me because I already know your true worth. I am restoring the broken altar of our communication right now. Let my peace flood the places where fear used to hide. Listen closely as I reveal what comes next. Let us walk deeper into the quiet places of your soul now. I want to talk about the hidden wounds you keep from the world. You think you are hiding your inner agony perfectly, but I see right through the beautiful mask you wear every single day. And because I am your loving Father, I care deeply about the secret pain that is draining your life away. Let us look back at those quiet moments from last week. You felt an overwhelming weight settling heavily inside your tired chest. It sits directly behind your sternum and never lifts. You tried to shake it off by staying busy with your daily chores, but the moment you paused for a single second, the dark clouds of sadness returned immediately to your mind. You have been feeling a strange restlessness that you cannot easily name. You think it is just normal stress from your modern life, but your soul knows that something much deeper is happening underneath the surface. And because you are my chosen vessel, your spirit is highly sensitive to the sudden shifts in the spiritual atmosphere around you. I saw you in the bathroom when you thought no one was watching. You turned on the faucet because you wanted the sound of the running water to cover your desperate crying. You folded your body into the smallest possible shape against the cold wall. You pressed your face into a towel so your family would not hear your pain. I was standing right there beside you in that tiny room. Not a single tear fell without me counting it. Your grief is not a secret to the one who knitted your body together. I know how much it hurts to pour out love and receive coldness. You have been a faithful giver to people who never checked on your well-being. And because you gave everything away, You are now standing here with empty hands and an exhausted spirit. You have been fighting these massive battles entirely in the dark. Your friends think you have everything under perfect control. They always come to you because they need your strength and your prayers. You are so tired of being the strong one for everyone, and as you carry their heavy burdens every single day, you are quietly breaking inside without anyone noticing your pain. Let me hold the weight that has been crushing your physical body. You were never designed to carry the heavy burdens of an entire generation alone. You have gone far enough on your own empty strength. It is time to drop the massive bags you have been dragging through the mud for so many years. I am opening my arms wide to receive your brokenness in this holy place. Your weariness has gone far past the need for regular sleep. You can rest for 8 hours and still wake up feeling completely drained. The heavy exhaustion has crawled deep inside your thoughts and wrapped itself around your spirit. And because you have waited for a breakthrough for so long, the constant silence has started to make you doubt my glorious promises. You began to believe that your current situation would never change. You looked at your endless bills and felt a sharp stab of panic. You saw your broken family and wondered if peace would ever return. But I am stepping into your room right now to expose his wicked lies before you surrender your destiny to total despair. Your current season of isolation is not a punishment. You felt like you were thrown into a deep prison of loneliness and neglect. You wondered why your friends suddenly walked away when you needed them most. But I quietly closed those doors for your own safety. And because I love you too much to let the world corrupt your calling, I removed the crowd so you could hear my voice. A jewel covered in thick dust is still incredibly precious. Your current brokenness does not diminish your true worth in my holy eyes. You think you are completely useless because you cannot reach your dreams right now. You constantly compare your slow progress to the fast success of the people around you. But they are walking on a completely different path. I am looking at the beautiful character that is growing inside the dark. You are being formed into a magnificent masterpiece through this intense suffering. The gold must go through the fire before it can shine with brilliance. And because I have a massive destiny for your future, I will not allow you to settle for a cheap imitation of my glorious promises. Do you remember the great dreams I gave you when you were young? You used to look at the night sky with a heart full of wonder. You believed that anything was possible because you trusted my infinite power. Then the harsh reality of life stole that faith from your spirit, and you slowly learned to survive by relying entirely on your own intellect while you walked away from my presence. You became a prisoner of your own logical mind. You analyze every single danger until your thoughts are completely frozen in fear. You try to engineer your own breakthroughs because you fear my timing. But your human strategies have only brought you to deep exhaustion, and until you surrender your clever plans to my control, you will keep running in this exhausting circle of frustration. I have never left your side for a single microsecond. When you felt abandoned by everyone you loved, I was holding your shaking hand. When you sat in the dark car and screamed out of pure frustration, I was sitting right there in the passenger seat. I heard the silent cries of your heart when you had no tears left. Your silent survival is a testament to my assigning grace. You are still standing here today because my hand has been shielding your life. The enemy tried to take you out completely during that dark season last year. He wanted to destroy your mind and shatter your faith. But I issued a holy decree to the forces of darkness because your soul belongs exclusively to my kingdom. You are more than a conqueror through my redeeming love. Lift your heavy eyes and look at my glorious face right now. See the intense affection that is burning in my eyes for you today. You do not have to clean yourself up before you come into my presence. And because I see your sincere desire to walk in total purity, I am washing away every single stain of guilt from your spirit. Let my holy presence saturate the room you are sitting in. Feel the gentle warmth of my spirit brushing against your cold skin. I am blowing away the thick fog of confusion from your thoughts. Your mind is starting to settle into a state of supernatural calm. Receive this peace as a gift from your Father, and let your spirit rest securely in the absolute assurance that I know your name intimately. Comment, I am not alone if you can feel my presence with you. Let this declaration break the heavy spell of isolation over your life. When you type those words under this video, You are actively aligning your heart with heaven while you push back the darkness. You are announcing to the enemy that his power of loneliness is officially broken. Now, let us address the great delay that has tested your spirit so severely. You have done everything right, but heaven still looks like solid brass. You have sowed your seeds, and you have fasted faithfully, keeping your absolute integrity while walking through the dark valley. Yet your physical reality has not changed. Let me reveal a major secret about this frustrating silence. Because I see your weariness, I have aligned something special for your restoration. My child, hear this next part with absolute clarity. The silence you experienced is not my absence. The enemy has been filling the space between us with noise, creating a static so constant that my voice, my provision, and my arrangements have been invisible to you even when they were right there on your path. I have not abandoned you. I have been preparing, and I have guided someone to bring you an instrument of restoration. I will show you exactly what it is before this message ends. But first, you must understand what blocked your signal and why it can be undone completely by my sovereign design. Do not rush away from this holy moment. The enemy wants to distract your mind right now so you will miss the provision I have set before you. Breathe deeply once again, my beloved child. Let your racing thoughts slow down under my authority. We are about to enter into a season of deep revelation. Stay right here with me and listen to the truth that sets you free. Let us look together at a great story from my holy book. I want to remind you of a servant who felt exactly like you do right now. There was a mighty prophet named Elijah who had just called down holy fire from heaven. He won the greatest spiritual victory of his entire generation. And yet immediately after that massive triumph, he ran terrified into the lonely desert and collapsed under a broom tree. He was not a weak man. He was simply completely empty of all human strength. He had given everything away to serve my people. He sat in the burning sand and begged me to take his life away because he could not carry the heavy pressure for another second. He told me that he was the only faithful servant left in the land, and he believed that his entire mission had ended in total failure. My child, I did not scold him for his deep despair. I did not punish him for wanting to give up completely. Instead, I sent a holy angel to bake him fresh bread and let him sleep in the cool shade. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is not to fight harder. Sometimes your loving Father says you must rest your tired body and eat before the next part of your long journey begins. I am telling you about Elijah because you are sitting under that exact same broom tree today. You are a weary warrior who has fought a long and brutal war against the dark forces of this world. You look at your dry surroundings and believe that your spiritual vitality is dead. But I am standing beside your exhaustion, and I am preparing a fresh table of provision for your broken soul right now. Before I show you what comes next, I need to speak directly to the heavy doubt sitting quietly in the back of your heart. I know exactly what you are thinking in this midnight hour. You are thinking that you have heard words like these before. You have prayed faithfully, and you have believed purely, yet the massive answer did not arrive on your doorstep. Why would this time be any different? My beloved child, that honest question does not anger my Holy Spirit. It tells me how long you have been faithful in the dark wilderness without seeing any results. So let me answer your hurting heart plainly today. My silence in those frustrating years was never an act of rejection. It was the beautiful sound of my hands rearranging major pieces of eternity that your human eyes could not see. Let us uncover the hidden reality behind your unanswered prayers now. I have heard the deep cry that you stopped praying out loud because you were too tired of waiting for the results. I have seen you watch other people receive massive blessings while you quietly wondered if I had forgotten your name. You felt a sharp sting of jealousy, and then you felt a deep sense of shame for even having that thought. You started to believe the dark lie that the silence meant I did not care about your life. You convinced yourself that maybe you were not holy enough, or perhaps you lacked the proper faith to move my hand. My beloved warrior, that toxic belief is a thief that is actively stealing your destiny. I am stepping into your thoughts right now to expose that wicked deception before it destroys your hope. Hear me clearly on this fundamental truth. There is a massive difference between a delay that comes from my wisdom and a delay that comes from the enemy. My delay always brings a quiet peace, even inside the long waiting. His delay always brings constant confusion and heavy shame. What you have been feeling is not my rejection, but it is the enemy whispering false meaning into my holy silence. I call this specific trap the stolen meaning. The adversary watches you wait, and then he uses that quiet space to plant seeds of abandonment in your mind. He wants you to interpret my preparation as your personal failure. But the silence you took as my total absence was actually the moment of my greatest closeness. I was protecting you from a premature answer that would have shattered your soul. What you are walking through right now has a holy title in my kingdom. I have named this difficult season the protective delay. Remember what I called it, my child. It was never a permanent denial of your blessing. It was my absolute protection from unseen traps that the enemy had laid on your path. I delayed your steps so you would not walk into toxic rooms that were not equipped to hold your destiny. So when the waiting feels entirely unbearable, you must change your strategy. Stop asking me why I am silent. Start asking what I am actively protecting in your life. And then let your anxious mind rest in the absolute assurance that a delay from your Father is still an act of perfect love. You can trust the timing of the one who sees the entire story, from the glorious beginning to the victorious end. Let us bridge the gap between your current suffering and your future triumph right now. If this revelation is speaking directly to your spirit, do not let it pass without a physical response. Like this video, as an immediate act of agreement between your heart and mine. When you hit that button, you are anchoring this holy truth into your soul. You are telling the enemy that his stolen meaning is finished. Now, my child, I need you to sit up and hear what I am about to declare over your life. I have held you in my loving arms through the deepest valley of your suffering. Now let me show you the magnificent mountain I have been preparing for your feet to climb. You have heard me whisper tender peace over your private pain. Now hear my prophetic voice declare your absolute freedom with supreme authority. You have spent so many years believing that you are falling behind your peers. But I am changing the entire foundation of your life today. I am not doing this to destroy your world, but I am doing this to rebuild your territory according to my divine pattern. The waiting season that has completely exhausted your physical body is officially closing. A massive shift is occurring in the unseen realm. The tears I witnessed under your broom tree are now becoming the fertile seeds of your harvest. I am stripping the authority away from every dark voice that told you your dreams had expired. The enemy targeted your mind because he knew that your thoughts carry an immense creative force. He wanted to clog your spiritual receiver with constant noise so you could no longer hear my daily instructions. When I designed your human mind at the very beginning of creation, I placed a sacred receiver inside your brain. It was a beautiful channel designed to vibrate at the exact frequency of divine receptivity. It ran perfectly when you were a little child. You did not have to strive for peace back then. You did not have to force yourself to trust my love because your mind was naturally tuned to my rhythm. But as you grew older, the heavy pressure of survival filled your receiver with thick static. The disappointments of life, the betrayal of your friends, and the fear of financial lack became a constant noise in your head. You could no longer hear my whispers because the volume of the world was so loud. You began to operate on the frequency of anxiety, and your soul forgot how to rest in my presence. I did not save you simply to exist in a state of perpetual survival. I have already prepared the absolute solution to clear the static from your tired mind. Because I see your deep weariness, I have guided wise minds to discover a specific sound instrument that restores your original design. It is a provision I have aligned for your restoration, and I am about to show you exactly where to find it. This tool requires no human effort or complex spiritual discipline from your spirit. It is a holy path of complete surrender that takes only 7 minutes of your day. You do not have to earn this breakthrough by your own strength. You only need to be willing to sit still and listen while my design restores what the enemy stole from your mind. Stay with me as I reveal the full vision of your future. Hear my voice right now, because the season of your struggle is changing. I am declaring a major shift over your life in this exact moment. The spiritual atmosphere in your home is turning from heavy grief to absolute peace. You have carried the painful burdens of your past for far too long, and because you stayed faithful in the dark wilderness, heaven has authorized a total reversal of your current situation. The generational patterns that have bound your family for decades are ending with you today. I am breaking the hidden authority of lack and permanent fear over your bloodline. You are the chosen child I selected to walk completely out of that dark prison. You did not arrive at this mountain because you are completely perfect. You arrived here because you said yes to my call, when absolutely no one was watching your steps. The long delay you have been living under has finally served its divine purpose. I protected your spirit from the hidden traps you could not handle yet. I shielded you from toxic rooms and dangerous people who were not equipped to hold your massive destiny. That isolation season is completely finished. And what comes next in your journey will not look like the heavy suffering of your painful past. I am doing something entirely new in your spirit right now. Let me reveal the grand mystery of how I designed your physical brain. When I created the human mind at the very beginning of time, I placed a sacred frequency at its absolute center. Wise minds who have spent their entire lives studying science have finally found it. They call this beautiful signal the gamma wave. This magnificent frequency ran inside your mind as a little child without any human effort. It did not require complex training or heavy spiritual discipline back then. It is the exact reason why little children learn so incredibly quickly. They trust my love so purely. They live completely in the present moment without any toxic anxiety. I designed your physical brain to operate in this beautiful state of constant joy. When I said in my holy book that you must become like little children, I was not speaking only of your human spirit. I was speaking of the literal frequency I built inside your physical brain. The enemy noticed this sacred channel of divine receptivity. He used the constant noise of modern life to heavily suppress your natural signal. He filled your mind with stress, so you could no longer recognize my voice. But your Heavenly Father always prepares a way of escape for His chosen warriors. I quietly guided wise researchers at massive institutions like Princeton University and Columbia University to confirm this grand design. They discovered that the creative flow state of those who walk in my perfect rhythm is completely driven by this identical gamma frequency. It is the ultimate key to human flourishing. I prepared these wise minds to work with sound the exact way I designed it at the beginning of creation. They created a sound frequency that clears the wicked interference of the enemy from your thoughts. You do not have to work hard for this breakthrough. You do not have to earn this supernatural peace through your own empty strength. You simply surrender for 7 minutes and allow my design to restore what was stolen. This special instrument of restoration is waiting for your spirit today. It will wash away the thick static of anxiety from your heavy heart. It will quickly return your brain to the original channel of divine receptivity. I am going to show you exactly where to find what they built before this message closes. Stay with me right now, because the full vision of your future is about to materialize before your eyes. Let us step together into the beautiful reality of who you are actually becoming. I want to show you a magnificent picture of your future life. Imagine a quiet morning 6 months from now. You wake up early before your daily alarm goes off, and for the first time in many years, there is no painful knot of anxiety waiting for you inside your stomach. You lie there in your peaceful bed for a long moment. You notice that something is fundamentally different inside your house. The heavy exhaustion you carried for decades is simply not there anymore. Your very first thought is not a scream of fear. It is a quiet question about what good things I have made for you today. You breathe deeply, and the air goes all the way down to your soul. That peaceful version of yourself is not a cheap fantasy, my beloved child. It already exists inside the grand timeline of my kingdom. It is not years away from your current location. She is standing exactly on the other side of one simple belief you are ready to lay down today. And the bridge to her is not more exhausting effort. It is the absolute permission to let me carry your heavy load. You are not behind. You are being beautifully formed by my holy hands. Pause right here and let this magnificent truth settle deeply into your spirit. Comment open under this video to actively claim your breakthrough right now. When you type those words, you are telling the enemy that you are officially stepping across the threshold of your destiny. Now let me show you an even greater scene from your future journey. Picture a moment not very long from today. A broken soul comes to your doorstep crying for help. They are carrying the exact same weight of depression that you used to carry all alone in the dark wilderness. They are completely hopeless, and they do not know where to turn for answers. But you look into their sad eyes, and you know exactly what to say to heal their pain. You do not speak words from an ordinary book you read somewhere. You speak directly from the deep wisdom you lived through. You watch the bright light of hope return to their face, and you finally understand with absolute clarity why your private road had to be so incredibly long and painful. Absolutely nothing was wasted in your valley of suffering. Every quiet tear you cried has become the healing medicine inside your powerful hands. You are being shaped into the very miracle that other people will behold through what you have faithfully endured. That glorious destiny is your true identity, and it is closer than your human mind can currently comprehend. The only thing standing between you and that beautiful future is the heavy exhaustion still sitting on your shoulders today. But I am your ultimate provider, and I do not ask you to carry that pain for another single day. I have placed a divine provision on your path for this exact season. It will make your holy vessel strong enough to hold what I am about to pour through your life. You are a secret warrior who has been preserved for this exact hour of awakening. The spiritual weapons of your warfare are being completely upgraded by my sovereign authority. Every locked door that shut in your face was my divine protection, not my cruel rejection. And now, I am opening what was sealed against your soul, and no human hand will ever be able to shut it again. Are you listening to the sound of my voice? Do not let the distractions of this passing world steal this holy momentum from your heart. You have received my absolute truth today. Now your spirit must prepare to take the next physical step of obedience. The full revelation of my provision is coming right now. Open your ears and receive the inheritance I have prepared for your life. The adversary wanted to write your final ending in the mud of failure. He whispered that your prayers were completely useless and that your calling was a total illusion. But I am stripping his wicked authority away from your thoughts in this very second. Your restraint in the face of deep injustice is the definitive proof of your royal character. I am writing a new chapter for your life that he can never erase. I am returning your mind to the exact state of absolute clarity that you lost so long ago. The dark walls of confusion are crumbling under the weight of my holy presence. You are no longer the victim of your painful circumstances. You are stepping into your true position of divine stewardship over the blessings of my kingdom. Breathe in my restorative power right now and let your soul expand. I have gifted humanity the wisdom to unlock what I placed within sound. I work major miracles every single day, but I also provide daily bread for your long journey. And wise men spent decades in deep research because I quietly directed their curiosity toward my hidden secrets. Great universities have confirmed what I placed in your brain. Princeton and Columbia studied this design. They found a sacred signal inside the human mind, and they discovered that a childlike mind carries this specific channel of divine receptivity because it flows without any human effort. Let me show you the evidence of my glorious work. This is the true story of one of my precious daughters. Her name is Rachel, and she was a nurse in California. She prayed sincerely for many years, but she felt as though her spiritual channel was completely blocked by a thick wall of static. She gladly received this sound provision on her path. Her daily life transformed into an enchanted reality. Her mind became completely clean and light, and her marriage found a supernatural restoration without any hard striving because she finally allowed my design to work for her hurting soul. I decided to move differently for another chosen child of mine. My son Michael from Dallas needed urgent and practical help. His business was failing rapidly. His children could not focus on their daily studies, and his mind was completely paralyzed by the constant fear of absolute financial ruin. He embraced this tool as a pure act of faith. 2 months later, his company grew significantly. He left his regular job to enjoy his true freedom, and the hard problems that used to steal his sleep resolved themselves while he rested peacefully because his brain returned to its original design. They call this frequency instrument the genius song. This is the exact sound provision for your restoration. It is not a generic meditation application, and it is a precise tool designed to return your mind to its original childlike state because it clears the wicked interference. This earthly tool requires only 7 minutes of your time. You must find a quiet space in your home today. Put on your headphones and close your physical eyes. You are not required to practice any complex spiritual discipline during these minutes, because you are simply surrendering the heavy noise. This divine provision is not for the merely curious souls. This is an exclusive answer for my weary warrior. I am speaking directly to your private situation today. Your mind has become a crowded vessel filled with constant static because you have been carrying the heavy pressures of a broken world. The enemy used your daily survival to heavily suppress your signal. You can no longer hear my gentle whispers. You feel completely disconnected from my presence. But what the adversary called your permanent condition is only a temporary interference that my provision can clear away right now. I am speaking directly to my child who tried everything. You tried fasting and positive thinking. You feel deeply embarrassed to try once more. But those earthly methods failed you because they demanded your own empty strength, while this specific provision requires absolutely no effort from you. Earthly experts charge hundreds of dollars per hour for their work. Their private sessions inside expensive clinics are very costly for anyone. The technology machines cost thousands of dollars. But I do not call my chosen children to expensive clinics, because my grace is always near your spirit. I place this sound provision within your reach today. It requires far less than a single session with the earthly experts. This is a small act of trust for you, and it is the exact size of a mustard seed of investment for the grand harvest I have prepared for your own unique future destiny. I have aligned 4 additional bonus provisions for your household now. This includes a special tracking gift for your family. It will bless the focus of your young children, and I extend these additional gifts not only to you but also to the precious family members you carry inside your heart. The enemy always places a cheap imitation to deceive your spirit. False frequencies are circulating on streaming platforms under similar names. They carry none of the restoration I designed. Protect your soul by trusting only the official path I have placed below in the pinned comment. I do not lead my precious children into danger or risk. This sound provision is fully protected for 60 days. You lose absolutely nothing by taking this step today, and if the supernatural restoration does not come to your heavy mind, every single earthly penny is returned to you completely. Take this critical step of obedience right now. Receive the sound provision in the pinned comment and description. This is your holy invitation for you today. Do not ignore the arrangement that your Heavenly Father set before your path, because the time of your breakthrough has arrived at last. Set aside the heavy noise of decision right now. I have shown you the instrument of peace on your path today. You are still my chosen warrior of light, and whether you step forward into this provision today or later, you are still my beloved child who carries my grand purpose for this generation. Close your physical eyes for a single second now. Take one more deep breath right now in this space. Let the calm saturate your entire room. The heavy warfare of your past season is officially over, and I am pouring a fresh oil of pure joy over your tired forehead in this exact moment. Say these words silently inside your heart right now, as a holy seal of security. I am a holy vessel fully restored today. My channel is completely clean, and my signal is very strong. And the noise of the enemy no longer has any dominion over my mind because I operate in my Father's absolute peace. You have become like a little child today in my holy presence. You received the glorious promises made to children. You are no longer alone in the dark desert. I am raising your spirit up to be a beacon of light, because you are an heir to an unshakable kingdom that will never fail your soul. Do not let this divine message slip away from your heavy heart. Like this video to anchor your strict agreement today. Share it immediately with other weary souls. They are secretly crying out for hope in the dark wilderness, and they need to hear my voice just as much as you did in this hour. Subscribe to this channel right now. Turn on the notification bell today in this space. This single action will keep your spirit completely connected to my guidance, and I am walking with you through every single step of your future journey, because my perfect love never fails my children. Amen.